I'd like to thank Mind the Bridge, SBA, and also, of course, Fincantieri for having us here today. We are RBware. We are a Korean company, although I'm not Korean here. We have been working in welding and robotics for a long time, and our focus is building autonomous welders as a service. The problem is obvious to most Koreans, I believe. As Koreans, you'll know very well, there's a huge welder shortage. Korean shipyards are suffering from this as well, and so are global shipyards, Americans, Europeans. This is a global problem at the moment. That's not the only problem. So with welding being so hands-on and manual comes also a repeatability and a quality issue as well. So a process that's so critical to human life, basically welding's what makes bridges, dams, and buildings, is also still a craft, not a repeatable, data-driven, scientific kind of manufacturing process as it's supposed to be. And to solve these problems I mentioned, we believe the hardware is there, and the only thing missing, the missing key here is basically software or physical intelligence. What we're trying to do is we've started from scratch. So we've built a robotic system with a software on top, and because we always thought that it's all about software, not exactly the hardware, because the hardware has been there for a long time. And basically what we're trying to do right now is put eyes, a brain, and legs on it, so it can work in difficult situations or shipyards, for example. We have started with high mix, low volume fabricators because that's where the biggest problems are. And the products we have are not just for welding, because welding is not the only thing welders do. And we always thought that whatever we make should do what a welder does. So you have, of course, material removing, so that's grinding, sanding, brushing, and then, of course, plasma cutting and all those other types of processes. This is an AI-generated image, bear with us, because, of course, as a startup, you're still starting up. The product you see here is what we envision can happen in shipyards. So we have basically a business model in mind, which is autonomous welders as a service. And what we mean by that is we want to become a labor contractor. We don't want to just build these products. We want to do the full stack and become a labor contracting company. And comes with that is basically we have to own these products, and these products have to function and work properly. So one thing that goes here is, of course, the metalworking aspect of this, as I mentioned, not just welding, but also we need to make sure that this can do any weld, and have a foundation model inside. So we're aiming for L4 autonomy, which means it's going to take a task and execute. And what we're also trying to do is, of course, add things like vision-based seam tracking and other path planning aspects of it for grinding as well. This is basically the type of data flywheel we're building. The idea is simple. This is for many of you who are also startups here. I believe nowadays this is very obvious. The data aspect for us is important because it's not happening at the moment. A lot of data right now is just goes into air, and welding generates data, but collecting that is not easy. So that's also what we're trying to solve here with our product. We have already units deployed globally, and now we're rolling out that data collection system to basically create the model that we're building. And we have 21 partner integrators. We globalized early because we had a global team from day one, and we deal with a lot of different scale of companies. Our partnerships right now, of course, as we're a guest here with Fincantieri, we believe that's a really important partnership for us, but we're also partnered with other companies. We've done POCs with smaller companies also, so that's what we're focusing on nowadays. And the network I mentioned is we've always, of course, focused where welders are most short, so that was Europe and US mainly. You'll see a lot of different applications here. So, not everyone has to know welding, of course, but welding has a lot of different types. So you have, MIG welding, TIG welding, plasma welding, laser welding. So we try to address as many as possible, as also together with grinding and other material removal solutions. So you'll see a nice range of those here. And I want to talk about how and why we're working with Fincantieri, because that's what really matters here. We met them last year thanks to an event held by Mind the Bridge, and what happened was we found that there's a fit with our product and what they're looking for. So you've seen the areas they're looking for partners. We fit one of those, which was smart robotics, and since, like every shipyard in the world, they have the labor shortages and then the productivity issues, I want to say. We decided, of course, we want to work with you, we want to help you solve that. And also, since manual welding is a craft, we want to help you, bring a lot of data into play as well. You'll see the project we have is not welding at the moment, I want to say, so for now. We're working on grinding together, and RBAG is the product we're building together with them. You'll see, there are several aspects of this, but basically, just like a lot of physical AI companies in Korea, we're focusing on path planning together, surface compliance, which is really important because we make the robot apply a lot of force on the part, and also vision-based inspection afterwards. That's it for me. Thank you for listening. We are always looking for partners. Sadly, we've just closed our round, so if any of your investors, we're oversubscribed at the moment, but feel free to talk to us for our next round as well. Happy to meet you all.